This video is intended for education and training of eye surgeon. Viewer discretion is advised, not recommended for children. Hello friends, this is Dr. Sourabh Patwardhan from Nandadeep Eye Hospital and FACO Training Center, and in this video I'll be dealing with a case of young adult eye with developmental cataract, and let's see how is it different. So 23-year-old young IT professional diagnosed developmental cataract since 10 years and planned phacoemulsification with toric EDOF IOL as patient wanted some independence from glasses. Now the points to note here is higher elasticity of the tissues and the lens, which is cataractus, is thinner as compared to older patients. So the thickness of the lens here is just around 4 millimeters. Young patients are generally little bit more anxious, so we have to reassure them. Take some time as you start the surgery to speak with patient, ask them to look at the light and reassure them time and again that everything is going all right. Otherwise, with the changes in the light and the fluctuations, they might be little bit anxious what is happening with their eyes. Of course, if the patient is too anxious, you can do it under peribulbar block, or even for very anxious patients we can opt for sedation or general anesthesia. For doing good CCC, I use heavy OVD. I use 1.8% hyaluronate here over the anterior capsule because these capsules are thinner and more elastic as compared to adult eyes. Good hydrodissection is needed because these lenses are very soft generally, and you need good hydrodissection, so the cortex management becomes very easy. We can use even coaxial IA probe to aspirate this lens matter, but I am using phaco probe here because it is quicker with this. And you can see the lens iris diaphragm retropulsion, which I tackled by lifting the iris little bit. I am keeping my phaco probe anterior so that I don't have any contact with the posterior capsule, which is much anterior because the lens itself is quite thin. I am using low vacuum so that the anterior chamber remains stable, and bottle height has to be moderate. Very high bottle height tends to more severe LIDRS and more discomfort to patient. So every time you introduce irrigation in the anterior chamber, you have to inform the patient that patient may feel little bit of discomfort in the eyes because of the LIDRS, and you can quickly release it by lifting the iris. You can also try to lift the iris even before introduction of the irrigation to avoid sudden deepening of the anterior chamber. I don't do overzealous anterior capsular polish because I feel that these anterior capsular cells are needed for good fibrosis and long-term stability of the IOL. But of course, I do hydro polish or I do minimal polishing, which I feel is necessary. And this is a Lucidis toric IOL, which is a EDOF IOL with +3 add, and we have chosen this IOL after thorough discussion with the patient with all the pros and cons of the IOL. And this is like a plate haptic IOL, though the haptics are of different shape than plate haptic. It is big. So what I do is, after introducing the leading haptic in the bag, I rotate the IOL in the desired axis and then I push the trailing haptic in the. I am using sodium hyaluronate to inflate the bag because it is easy to remove it afterwards. Because of this bulky IOL, to go behind the IOL in the bag is little bit tricky, but as you can see here that hyaluronate comes out very quickly. And now you can see the iris has become little bit floppy. This happens with young adults. The tissue is more elastic than the older patients. And here I am going behind the IOL to aspirate the OVD behind. So if you use dispersive OVD, it is sometimes tough to remove all the OVD from the bag and you may face capsular distension later. So I recommend using hyaluronate to fill the bag so that we can remove it very easily afterwards. So that's the end of the procedure. And when we hydrate the incision again, because of the elasticity of the tissues, you can see the anterior chamber deepens as we raise the pressure to seal these incisions. So many times at the end you have to leave the eye with deep anterior chamber, which might be producing little bit of discomfort to the patient. So you can reassure the patient that after a few minutes it will be better. and I'm just rechecking. This is another way to recheck. I just marking the Mendes ring for the desired axis, placing the ring, aligning the 180 degree mark now, and just checking whether the toric marks are along the desired axis. 1:1 diluted intracameral moxifloxacin, and I'm checking the anterior chamber formation here. And after removing speculum also, it is must to check that there is no hypotony. For more such videos and training videos, do subscribe to my YouTube channel and also visit our website phacotraining.org.in. Thank you.